That just happened.
Say hit it and then push that.
What?
Say hit it and then hit the button.
Oh.
Don't you dare touch my controls, boy.
He already did. We're recording.
I see it.
Kick it!
That was not as good.
I was trying to change it up
It's a little bit more aggressive.
Oh, I can get aggressive.
Welcome
Welcome to Hardheaded.
or to Hardheaded podcast.
There you
I'm your
go.
host, Chet Sears. To my right is Matt Amos, and to my left is Troy Three-Shot Trussell. We are so happy that you're here today. We've got some interesting things to talk about and a very fun top three that may stir up some discussions. May not. I don't know.
I don't think it will.
Controversy.
I don't think it's controversial.
It could be.
It's going to be fun.
I like it.
Fun.
Maybe for you, because you might be the only person who does this.
Who does what?
Watches live performances on YouTube.
No, I'm not. I mean, based on the amount of views, some of these videos I'm going to mention, you guys are out on what's hip.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, good for you. And speaking of you, why don't you tell us what's on your mind, Matt?
I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to pull a Troy. Like, I literally have no idea. I feel like over the past few podcasts, we've kind of talked about firearms a lot. Even though I think we just talked about suppressors and then our top handguns, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's really all we've covered.
Yeah, police shootings and a few things else.
That's
If
really
you're going to go back a month or two.
That's really not guns, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
That has nothing to do.
so I guess what's been on my mind is it has a little bit to do with guns,
Shocker.
but not totally. So back in April, the Kansas Senate passed a new law that it is okay for 18-year-olds to conceal carry.
I did not know this.
So they went from 21
To 18.
to 18.
Okay.
And I know that there wasn't a whole lot of pushback here in Kansas because we're a fairly gun-friendly state. But the people that were complaining about 18-year-olds not being able to make good decisions. And I
Like
said,
joining the military?
joining the military, whatever. Okay. I think my big takeaway from them not making good decisions is our voting age is also 18.
Yeah.
And
Which there's some people want to lower, but go ahead.
right. And I think
Ridiculous.
by far an 18-year-old voter is a lot more dangerous than an 18-year-old carrying a concealed weapon, because I firmly believe that the votes hold higher consequences than an 18-year-old carrying a concealed weapon, because it affects more people the way that person votes.
Okay.
So when you've got all these,
But you're not a proponent of stopping 18-year-olds from voting. You're just doing a comparison of what's more dangerous.
hey, if they're old enough to join the military, carry a weapon overseas, and defend this country, or if they're in the National Guard, defend this country internally, go for it. I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should absolutely be allowed to carry. They're old enough to vote. They're old enough to carry. But I would say that voting is a lot more dangerous than carrying a firearm. So, that said, discuss. Because that's really kind of all I had. But it just doesn't make any real sense to me that you can't trust this person with a firearm, but you can trust them to vote and make good decisions.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the kids that I see today have fallen for a lot of this. And I don't know if we want to even get into the mask situation and the government control that is being attempted to take place. But a lot of the younger people, they're adamant. If you're out somewhere, most people don't care. Back when the mask mandates were around, you don't have somebody, most of the time it's not an older person saying you need to, hey, put your mask on. It's the younger kids, like they've been brainwashed.
Yeah, but not the 18-year-olds. So
but they've been brainwashed into thinking a certain way, and it's just Do
you want my input?
No, I'm talking here. This is what's on my mind, not what's on Chet's mind.
You were just like, discuss.
I did, but I took it back. No, go ahead. Did you just hit your head on the mic?
I did.
So that was Troy's empty brain.
I would say it was really hollow.
It didn't sound hollow.
If I only had a brain.
And this guy voted.
No, I would say that the 18-year-old, like specifically the youngest voter, is probably not as dangerous as like the 22, 23, 24-year-old. Because, I mean, at 18, you're still just doing whatever your parents do. Like your worldview, if you're still in the home or a month or two removed from it.
That depends on your home life. And we've talked about that before too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be like, well, this is what dad always did. Or this is my mom. I heard my mom and dad talking about this, and this is who I'm.
However,
or I'm always watching Fox News, so this is who I'm voting for. I'm always watching CNN with my parents, or my grandma told me I had to do this, and I'm still going to do it. But then when you're been out a little bit from the influence of the elders in your life and your college professors or your crazy coworkers or the people that are telling you what's up, and if you listen to that, then the idiocy comes into play.
Now, back when you were a kid, I would agree with you that would be the case. But the amount of exposure that these 18-year-olds have to the internet, social media, and all of their accounts, because they're paying more attention to that and what's cool on that, not because mom and dad aren't cool. What's happening on TikTok and the popular videos that are, whatever, or Facebook, Instagram, they're getting fed all these different things, and they're going to. And we all know that all this media, whether it's them shutting down a journalist for exposing some stuff on CNN and they canceled their account, they're programming what they want people to see.
Yeah.
And those kids are very impressionable at that age. And I think it's a problem creating that's how they're trying to create future liberal voters, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I have in just a couple weeks, I'll have a 17-year-old in the house, and that's not the case. Like, heck, that dude's further right than I am right now.
But it all comes back to, how they're raised in the home. I mean, your kids hadn't had free reign on a phone since they were 9.
Right.
I mean, you and Ashley set, a certain age to where you got a phone, and if you did something wrong on that phone's getting taken away.
Right.
Or thrown in the lake.
That's right. I'm going to throw that in the lake.
I say that.
Yeah.
Still.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it just all goes back to home life and how those people are raised.
Right.
Whether they grow up, voting right or left, it always stems from something in the home.
Yeah. And I could tell you that, when my first time to vote was heavily influenced by my parents.
Well, because you didn't know what you were doing.
Not necessarily.
You probably didn't know what you were doing.
No, it's like, what? tell me why I should do this. Like, I need an explanation. Like, who should we vote for and why? And of course, my folks were always about the why. They
Right.
just with everything, they weren't just dictating. With just about everything that they raised me with, it was the why was really important. But I don't know, and I shifted from their political views, especially in the last decade. Not like I didn't break away, but I had a lot of different takes on things that they had, but primarily because that they got their news from one source, and I don't do that. I look at people that I don't like and I don't agree with and see what they have to say, people that I like and agree with and see what they have to say, people that are kind of in the middle, and then formulate an opinion. And a lot of times people don't go to that effort. And so I came up with it, but we'd have discussions. But I could tell you it's pretty funny, the pressure back when my parents were still alive with their grandkids, like the pressure that they'd put on them to make decisions and how do you feel about this? And I don't know if we need to go public with this, but we had to have your mom doesn't listen to the podcast anyway. But my wife had to tell my son, hey, don't, you and Gran do not get in a political conversation around me. Like, don't do it.
Yes.
That's not, because everybody gets worked up when they talk about it, and my wife is like non-confrontational. So she's just, and Stone's like, what? She's like, just don't do it.
Well,
like, just listen to her, Stone.
The biggest argument I ever heard my grandfather and my uncle get into was over politics.
Yeah.
And if they talked about anything else in life, it was like, great conversation. Good. We can talk about this. But if they talked about politics, like they were screaming at each other, and I was just like, what's going on?
I choose to not, I'll tell you one thing that I'm 100% in agreement with your uncle, term limits. Like we're on opposing sides of a political spectrum, but he's saying people are in Congress too long. And I'm like, wholeheartedly agree.
Oh yeah.
We need term limits. Let's do it. Let's get together. Let's make this happen. This is a big deal. It'd be good for everybody, So choose to find where you agree and like, let's talk about that. And this is going to make us fight. Yeah.
Let's not talk about that right now.
You can hold that view and I'm okay with that. Let's just not discuss it.
I would agree. Coffee and a donut.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Concept.
Yeah.
Power ring.
Or
power rings.
Or maybe
power
it's
bars.
Maybe it's like, that I'm doing all this on Facebook and I'm posting this and I'm posting this and like I disagree with all of that. But when you do say something I agree with, I'm not going to let everybody know I actually agree with you because we disagree on so much. Like, heck no. Like, dude, I love that. Like that post. Great idea. Term limits for everybody. In fact, I think it should be no more than 12 years total between the House and the Senate. So if you're a senator and you got 6 years in there, you can only go to Congress for, what their 2-year terms. So 3 terms. That's it. And you're done. Or if you're a senator for 2 terms, you cannot be a congressman because you served your 12 years at the federal level. You can be state, whatever you want to do in your state, but federal, 12 years.
Well, I'm obviously in agreement on that because, again, we've noticed with some of the laws that they're coming down, these people actually have no idea what they're making laws about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, they're being influenced by talking heads in their ear that are saying all this, but they don't do their own research.
Right.
At all. And that's proven. But that's my fear with the kids. And the reason why saying that an 18-year-old voter is more dangerous than an 18-year-old concealed carry.
Yeah.
However, and what I would say on the 18-year-olds, with Kansas, again, they're trying to put where you've got hunter safety or firearm safety as a school class.
I'd love for that to happen.
Because if we're going to pass legislation like this, everybody needs to know how to properly handle a firearm. So, because I don't want to put an 18-year-old kid with absolutely no experience on carrying a firearm.
Yeah.
Because I think the age to buy a weapon or a pistol is still 21. So the pistol would have to be gifted to them by their parents or somebody.
Yep.
And so hopefully those parents are taking charge and saying, hey, here's how we're going to go out, teach you the safety rules,
right,
teach you how to handle that weapon safely. But I maintain still 18-year-old voter is more dangerous. You may not agree, but
an uninformed voter is more dangerous.
Well, exactly.
It's one of the most,
but I would say that at 18 years old, you really haven't formed your opinions based on life experience.
An uninformed voter or a misinformed voter.
Yes. And I would say that most of the kids in that 18-year-old category fall into that misinformed voter because they're just listening to what they see on their phone, what they hear on their phone, and what they're reading.
I'll agree with you on the most part, but there are some really smart kids out there.
And I'm not saying that all of them are that way. There are some intelligent kids out there who probably should go ahead and try to run for something, even though they're not old enough.
Right.
But
or just be engaged, right? Now, get into the flow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because they're literally working for their future. We're trying to set it up for them the best that we can, even though the ones we have right now aren't doing the best job for that. But
jeez, not from a spending perspective. Golly, the debt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Big time debt. I don't know how they're going to pay it. Maybe Dogecoin?
That would be Doge.
Is it really?
I've always heard it. Doge.
Doggy coin? Maybe,
Doge.
Maybe,
isn't the logo a dog?
Yeah.
Isn't it dog e-coin?
It's dog e-coin, but people are like calling it Doge because they don't put the coin. They just have DOGE.
It's like I'd call it Dodge, whatever.
Or doggy.
Dog e-coin. I don't know. It made me $350
doggy,
a few weeks ago.
Kitty, doggy. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That's how we're gonna just pay all the debt off with crypto.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sure.
It's the wave of the future.
All right. Well, I think we're about ready to take a break and come back and do some top 3.
Some live performances.
No, I don't want to hear one from you.
That may be the best one I've ever heard.
When would I start using Admiral's Pennant beard oil if I wanted to start growing out a beard?
Like literally right now. That peach fuzz that you have on your face, as it's growing in, that is when you need to start conditioning the beard because the follicles are typically not hydrated enough, and so that oil helps in that hydration, cuts down on the itching, cuts down on any of the redness and flaking that you might have when you're growing out a beard, and that flaking is basically your skin being dehydrated because it's forcing it into that follicle.
Where can I get some of this?
Well, you can go to admiralspennant.com. admiralspennant.com. Tell them Hardheaded sent you. There's several different scents that have really good descriptions on them. So take a look at what's out there, and they're all natural. No synthetic substitutes.
No synthetics.
So admiralspennant.com.
Get you some beard oil.
Let them know that Hardheaded sent you. Welcome back to Hardheaded Podcast. It is that time, that part of the show where we get to our top 3. And today we are covering our top 3 live performances that you can watch on YouTube.
So stupid.
It's not that stupid. It just isn't. We're going to start with Troy. It's because you just don't know what to do with YouTube.
You're probably right.
You go to a concert, man.
I have
That's
no
what you
idea.
do. That's what you do. We're going to start with Troy and his 3rd live performance in the top 3.
Kick it.
Nice. This one comes from a little known band / group called the Beastie Boys.
Little.
And the performance that they did on the MTV Music Awards, I believe it was in 1994, where they played Sabotage.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And you can watch it on YouTube's.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Not a little known.
No, not a little known.
Yeah.
So, pretty phenomenal group there. Changed my life.
Yeah?
They're awesome.
They changed your life?
Yeah.
Which album?
So, the Beastie Boys was one of the groups that when they came out, it's like, man, I got to have that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. License to Ill.
Yeah.
Man, came out, was just phenomenal.
Yep.
And then I didn't get Paul's Boutique because I was young enough where I didn't know that they came out with Paul's Boutique. But then when I heard Check Your Head, I was back all in.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, on down the line, just kept getting better and better. Number 2 was Queen, their Live Aid performance in 1985 that they just redid in the movie.
Yeah.
With I have no idea how to pronounce that actor's name.
Yeah.
Rami or
Yeah.
however.
We know who you're talking about.
But how they recreated it is just incredible. And there's also a YouTube video of that, them playing
Shot for shot,
side by side.
Yeah.
How they recreated it, and it's just phenomenal. But the concert itself is great to watch anyway.
Yeah. On quite a few people's list is like best of all time.
Yeah. And Queen just outstanding, phenomenal band. So Queen fan, Matt?
Not really, other than was it Bicycle?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I want to ride my bicycle.
And
you got
Fat
Chet
Bottom
singing.
Girls.
no, what's the other from Wayne's World?
Bohemian
Bohemian
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody.
Yeah, everybody knows that one.
Yeah.
Just
So-
from Wayne's World.
Those
Yeah.
would be my top two
I love my keys.
Queen songs.
Bicycle.
I want to ride my bike.
Oh, that's good.
I played that for my kids one day. They were like, what is this?
Oh, I played it for mine.
Yeah.
And they love it.
Yeah.
Because they're like all in the bikes right now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love that song. All right. And number one is one of my all-time favorite bands when they did MTV Unplugged,
Oh, Nirvana.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
The whole album, the whole performance, phenomenal. They did a couple Meat Puppet songs. Man, good stuff.
They, what was that? In the Pines was on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was a lot. That was good. Old blues song.
good stuff. So if you haven't heard it, go check it out.
All right. I'll go next.
Do you want to go next?
No, I don't. You look anxious.
I think Matt should probably go next.
We'll let Matt
Go ahead.
No.
No,
I'm hosting, man. You're going.
I'm not sitting right here.
Oh, you stink, man.
Chet, what's your top three there?
All right. Well, I don't want to. I may have some of the same ones that you've got.
I highly doubt it.
All right. Number 3 is the 2015 CMA Awards. Justin Timberlake and Chris Stapleton singing Tennessee Whiskey and then going into Justin's song of Drink You Away. Have you seen it?
I have not.
No.
Oh my gosh. They've got Justin's band, horns, the whole get up, and phenomenal. Like, oh my gosh, phenomenal.
Nice.
What made me go look it up was that Garth Brooks documentary. You remember that came out on whatever?
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Well, I think it was on the documentary. They were talking to him about something, and he was just like, the energy you get from live performances is just unbelievable. And he's like, that Justin Timberlake and Chris Stapleton at the CMA Awards, like probably the best thing I've ever seen live. Like Garth Brooks saying this.
Oh wow.
You know,
and
I'm
he's like the best live performer.
and he's like,
ever,
I gotta go.
if you ask
I gotta
him.
go find that. You know,
Yeah.
I went and So that's number 3. Number 2, and I don't know exactly which this was from, but Carrie Underwood and Vince Gill singing "How Great Thou Art." It was at some thing at the Ryman.
Yeah,
I
I've seen
believe.
that.
Unbelievable.
That
And-
was back in the 90s, right?
no.
No? When they were both hip?
Carrie Underwood is.
Oh, I'm thinking
I don't
of
know if she
somebody
was
else.
born.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
Um,
Well, Vince Gill was.
Yeah, and he was just playing the guitar and doing some backup, some harmonization, which he's got a great voice for something like that. But it was basically Carrie Underwood singing and brought the house down. Like there are people in the crowd like crying. It was just so emotional. And I think she forgot she was performing and just worshiping, singing. It's a fantastic video to go watch. So Carrie Underwood singing "How Great Thou Art" with Vince Gill on backup. And my number 1, drum roll, because we built up by going 3, 2, 1. A band I really like called the Black Keys singing I Got Mine live at the Crystal Ballroom. That's
All
a
right.
great. It's a duet. It's a guy vocals, guitar, and then another guy drums. And it is rock and roll and just a great song, great performance, so much energy, fills up the room with two guys. Like, I mean, it's fantastic.
Keys, Keys.
Yeah, like the black keys on a piano.
Right. Not the black-eyed peas.
No.
Okay.
I got a feeling that's a different band.
I got a feeling.
See what I did?
See what he did? He has no idea
No.
what you did there.
No. All right.
Ooh, all right.
Honorable mentions.
Oh, wait.
Disturbed, Sound of Silence on Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
121 million views on that video, by the way.
Disturbed, like the ooh, wah.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy?
Yeah. You don't know what I'm talking, dude.
I've never.
Honorable mention.
I know that song. I know that band. I've never seen that performance, so I'm gonna go check that out.
And then another honorable mention, Jason Isbell. Love that guy. Singing "Cover Me Up" on Austin City Limits. Austin City Limits is one of my favorite live performance plays. Go to watch live performances.
Yeah.
But that's he's been sober for quite a few years now, and that's a song that kind of talks about his struggle with alcohol. And those fans of his that know it really get keyed up for the song. And when he talks about swearing off alcohol, everybody in the crowd cheers and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool how he gets supported through his sobriety through that.
Cool.
All right, Matt, fire away, man.
All right. Honorable mention. Number 1. Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes.
So this is number 1. You're starting number 1.
No, this is my honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're only going to get better from here,
I'm
Chet.
going to work up
Okay.
to my number 1.
That was a fantastic live performance.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And, you know, for we'll just have to link to it if you haven't seen it. It's good.
You got to go check
I
it out.
remember when we were up in Montana, and you mentioned it to the guy we were staying with, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh, let's get on YouTube. You know, Matt's like, we got to see this.
It's good. It's
He
worth
got excited. He's like, oh, I can't believe I get to introduce this to somebody.
Because I'm always like the last guy to see stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't spend a whole lot of time on YouTube. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another honorable mention here.
You're just trying to top me on number of honorable
just
mentions.
to keep up with you. I had one, but I forgot it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go up my list here. Well, no, I'm going to do it. Honorable mention number 2 is Paul Potts on Britain's Got Talent. And he is singing, and I'm going to mess up this name, Nasun Dorma.
I know what you're talking about.
But when that guy steps on stage, you do not expect him to have the voice that he has.
Of an angel.
And he absolutely crushed that song.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And then now I'll get to my top 3. Number 3, Cody Lee from America's Got Talent. Cody Lee is a piano player, but he is also blind and autistic.
Huh.
And in his interview, you know, he struggles to answer the questions. So it takes some time to think about the answer and then respond.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sits down at that piano and starts playing and singing. And his voice is incredible. His piano playing is incredible. It's by far one of my favorite performances ever. Just to see him, because that's his zone. That's his space.
Yeah.
And he's super, super talented.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun to watch. Number 2. You might notice a trend here.
America's Got Talent is all you watch on YouTube.
Actually, it's kind of strange because it's Britain's Got Talent
Okay.
again. But Susan Boyle,
Yep.
I Dream a Dream from Les Mis. And she gets up there, and she's another one that you would not expect to have the voice that she has. And she gets up there and sings that song and crushes it. super fun video to watch. And speaking of live performances, just because I don't really.
Whatever, you've named 4 already.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm not into this.
Had way more than
5 ready to go.
But your traditional live, like what you guys were considering, you know, with your bands and stuff like that, you know. But watching these, like, it's fun to watch these because they're not people that you would expect.
Yeah, you get surprised by it.
Yeah, to be
because
good.
you prejudge them and think that they're lesser than they actually are.
Well, the only reason that I prejudge them is
That's
because
why it's so fun for you.
I look at the judges' faces and it's like, oh, you know, this judge basically discounted this person,
right?
And then they get up there and absolutely crushed it, you know. And I like that. And then number 1 is going to be the Gene Simmons from Kiss, his military tribute. So he was playing on bass, and he goes through the 4 branches and does their hymns. So
he sings them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're jived up. They're more rock and roll type based. And you got the Marine Corps band playing backup. You've got guitar players and you got him singing. Then you got the whole crowd is various military members from
I'll have to check
Army,
this one out.
Navy, Marine Corps.
That's awesome.
Army, Navy, Marine Corps. What am I missing?
Air Force.
Whatever.
Dude, the Wild Blue Yonder. That's a great hymn.
And I think that's what they started off with, but they ended with the best
because you
one,
start
which
strong.
you end strong. So you start with the weakest, and then you get to the best. And the Marine Corps was the last one.
Yeah.
And everybody gets fired up because you got all the different branches in there, and then, you know, they pan out to the crowd, and, you know, you've got all the different branches singing their own, you know, their own hymn, and it's awesome to watch. It's super cool. But then to see
the Marine hymn is awesome, by the way.
Obviously, it's the best one. But to see Gene Simmons, I don't know if, you know, you guys have heard his story about how his mom came over from Israel and stuff like that.
No, I haven't heard any of that.
His story about
into Gene Simmons.
His story about America and what America means to him is one of the coolest interviews that I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'll have to check that out.
He actually breaks down in tears over the freedom that he has here and the freedom that was provided for them to get out of there.
Yeah.
And so those songs and singing to the military, and even when he had his reality show, I can't remember what the name of that reality show was, but
Gene Simmons something.
Yeah, but he went through, and I mean, the support from the military, the love for America was always there. It was the common theme that ran through that show. He went to boot camp, or not boot camp, but he went out and did a little O course and stuff like that at Camp Pendleton, and
short for obstacle course. O course.
Whatever.
O course, yeah.
Because it's hard for some military people to say obstacle.
We don't have that kind of time. O course. So
veterans.
Only if you have day at the end of it.
But it's so super cool. I mean, and I happened to be going through videos one day and caught that one because it's not like one of the top videos when you search for Gene Simmons, you know, that pops up. But you type Gene Simmons military tribute, pops right up, and he absolutely just rocks it. And then they finish with, I believe they finish with "God Bless America."
Yeah,
and it's super.
Makes you want to re-enlist.
Man, it really does. Like, I listen to that, man, I'm pretty fired up. I'd go back right now.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe not.
Nope. But yep. So that's my top 3.
All right.
4 or 5, whatever.
Yeah.
90% of those are Britain's Got Talent or America's Got Talent, with the exception of Ricky Gervais.
Very good.
He killed it.
He really did. That was super funny.
Yeah.
He did kill it.
All right, Troy.
It's the last time. Who cares?
I don't know if he ever cared. Troy, you got a good word for us.
Yeah. So, Jesus, one time the Pharisees were.
I thought you were literally just going to say Jesus and then stop.
I could.
Yeah, no, don't.
I mean, it's all you need, right?
Yeah.
But no, you know, he always had conflict with the Pharisees, and I think he always being an example to his disciples and the people following him. He always confronted that conflict in the right way to do it, right? And one story that kept coming to my mind as we were talking about this today is the when he had to pay a tax, right? And they brought him the coin, and they said, whose money is this? And he said, well, whose picture is on the coin? And they said, Caesar. And he said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and give to God what is God's. And they were all amazed, right? And so what I take from that is, kind of walk the straight line and stay in the middle and try to confront conflict when it needs to be confronted. Because, there were other times when Jesus went into the temple and flipped over tables and ran them all out of there.
Yeah. Address the situation how it needs to be addressed.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't always just be
guns ablazing, firing,
Yeah.
Just address it how it needs to be addressed and try to stay humble. And if you need to get fired up about it, get fired up about it. Go take care of business.
But don't always be fired up over every little thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the time, going through the Gospels, he got fired up, but he was more kind of walking the middle than he was getting fired up.
Yeah.
So he kept the peace a little bit more.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
That is a good word.
Yeah.
Especially as we just paid taxes like last month.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually was extended till May 15th.
What?
Yeah.
You mean I had till May 15th?
Yeah. COVID, man. Come on.
I didn't think there was an extension this year.
There was.
Well,
Is.
either way, I had mine in like a day before deadline, the original deadline.
Yeah. Good for you, man.
I had mine in January. So.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah.
At least you're prepared for something.
I got a great accountant.
Your wife?
Nope.
You?
Nope.
Oh, he's got an accountant.
What?
That dude's a small business owner. You can't do all that stuff on your own. You miss out on too many deductions.
That's true. That's
This is
why.
exactly why you have one.
That's why I have one.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, Matt. Let's play some Let's Get Out of Here music. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
What a wonderful episode. It's fantastic.
Super great.
It's super great.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget to go to hardheadedpodcast.com.
And don't forget to go to admiralspennant.com to get your beard oil for the bearded loved one in your life. Or if you have a beard, get it yourself.
Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Don't forget to leave us a review, subscribe, YouTube, give us a rumble, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for your time.
Oh, we finally got that beat drop. We talked long enough, we got the good beat drop.